When did you know that you were an artist?
Well, I thought about this question a lot, and I think when I was in high school, taking art classes and English classes, I think that was the time that I realized that the creative arts like painting and sculpture or photography or poetry, that they were really powerful things, and they could speak and say things that really mattered, and I couldn't find a way to say any other way.
Say things you can't say normally with words.
Yes, yeah. And poetry, I mean, poetry is words, but they're so powerful and there's so many meanings to them. And so there was just a sense that it was a real important thing. And I was curious about the world and what I saw, and art and poetry was kind of a way of making sense of it, and making the connections between what I saw and felt, and trying to get that across to other people.
You work in many media, including ceramics, metal casting, woodwork, photography, and poetry, to name a few. Is there something that unites the work you do in all of these various forms of media?
I think they're like ways of speaking. Each media kind of has a language, and when I put one with combination with another, somehow they talk to each other, and it makes sense to me, and they talk to me, and it kind of becomes a conversation. So like the steel talks to the ceramics, talks to the paint, talks to the image or the word or the fragment piece of stuff that I found on the ground when I was walking the dogs. The stuff just kind of starts a conversation, and I'm trying to make sense of it. My hope is that when people look at it, they're kind of part of the conversation too.
What is it about sculpture in particular as a means of creating that speaks to you?
To be perfectly honest, I'm not the best draftsperson or painter. So like when I'm in 2 dimensions, it just seems inadequate to me. It doesn't get my point across. And so the 3 dimensions really, it gives me elbow room, and it makes it real.
Expression.
Yes.
You have decided to donate your earnings from this exhibit to the Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper and the Western New York Land Conservancy. What has inspired this decision?
Yeah, that's really important to me. It's hard to make a difference in this world. You need to find, or I want to find, a way to make what I make contribute somehow to those organizations. I've done their cleanups, I've crawled along the Skajacota Creek and picked up garbage. I've gone on their kayak tours. I'm very interested in what's going on with the river line and the Western New York Land Conservancy, and their attempts to not just save nature out in, suburbia, though they've done beautiful things, but right here in the city. I think that's really important, that we don't lose track of it and pave it all over, and give people a pathway being in nature. Like the Red Jacket Waterkeeper organization, has done a marvelous job helping to clean up the waterways and make it accessible for people, and for people of all ages and all ethnicities, all abilities. It's just really important that it doesn't get lost and forgotten in our mad rush to,
Whatever, whatever's
to,
on our mind
yes,
currently.
Yeah, that we have to build or
we
whatever.
have to do this or that or whatever.
Yeah. So that's why, and I thought, well, this would be great, because the money would go to something that would feed something that I love, which is the place that I live.
So the title of your show is called Landmarks and Watersheds. Why did you decide to title your show this?
Well, obviously there's a nature connection. Landmarks, there's physical landmarks around me, places that are really meaningful to me. And we are marking the land with every step we make. So, there's, like I said, words have so many meanings and so many layers to them. So landmark is both a silo that I might see, or, a tree, or, a road that I'm driving down. I mean, there's marks everywhere, and we're all making a mark. And as to watersheds, well, of course, everything is connected, and what you put down the drain doesn't disappear. And water is such a precious commodity, and it's a powerful thing as well. I mean, it can destroy, and it can nourish, and it's a balance that we have to have. And then also beyond the ecological idea of watersheds and the environment, watershed moments in a person's life.
Turning points, right?
Yes, turning points, yes. Watershed moments, places where you realize where you're going or where you're coming from or what you've been through. Watershed is a beautiful term, as is landmark. So that's why. Yeah, that's why.
Marie Kemp's work will be available for viewing during the months of July and August. Don't miss the opening of Landmarks and Watersheds on Friday, July 15th from 3 to 8 p.m.